What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another combo breakdown video. Now, last time we learned how to do the launching staircase combo, and the launching staircase combo got us pretty great damage. It's a little tough to do, especially online, but it's a pretty great combo overall. This time we're going to learn how to do the Shadowblade Loop. Now, the Shadowblade Loop is my second B&B. It's the go-to combo that I use if I'm a little unsure about my first B&B. Reason being, it's a really easy combo to do, especially if you're a pad player. Now, I think every Morrigan player should have a really good Shadowblade combo. And it doesn't have to be this one, but this one's a pretty good start. And the reason being is Shadowblade does a really great job at regulating your opponent's height so that you don't have to. Shadowblade will put your opponent where they need to be. But also, Shadowblade is an incredibly fast attack. It'll catch opponents even if they're inches off the ground. It has an amazing hitbox, but most importantly, Shadowblade is fly cancelable. So to start the Shadowblade loop, you want to make sure that your opponent is either grounded or as low to the ground as possible. So when you start your combo, if your opponent is airborne, you want to make sure you kind of ease the opponent towards the ground before you go into your first Shadowblade. Now, one of the biggest factors to having a really successful Shadowblade combo is to make sure that you don't fly cancel the Shadowblade too early. This is probably my biggest problem and one of the biggest problems that I see other Morrigan players have trouble with. Remember, you need to be above that air dash threshold in order to go into an air dash, and fly canceling Shadowblade too early will oftentimes put you below it. A good tip to learn with any Shadowblade combo is to make sure that you wait for Shadowblade to get to its very height before you fly cancel and go into your air heavy. Now, from the air heavy, we're then going to go into a light or medium soul fist, and it can't be heavy because heavy is going to float the opponent too high. Generally, I'll stick with the medium soul fist. Now, as you unfly cancel this soul fist, Morrigan is going to start going into freefall, and she needs to be able to go into an air dash. And if you let Morrigan fall below that air dash threshold, she won't be able to. So the timing on the air dash after the unfly is going to be pretty tight. But if you can hit it, you're then going to immediately go into an air heavy and then a shell kick. Now, the shell kick might hit once or it might hit twice depending on how high you were when you went into that air dash. But the main thing is you want to go into that second Shadowblade the second you touch the ground. And from here on out, you're just going to simply repeat the process as you fly cancel that second Shadowblade. You're then going to go into another air heavy, into another light or medium soul fist, unfly cancel the light or medium soul fist, and immediately go into that air dash, into air heavy, and then a shell kick. Now, as you land on the ground, you have two options at this point. You can either A, go into a third rep, and that third rep will be harder to do. The timing on it is going to have to be pretty tight in order to complete it. Or you can B, go directly into the typical finisher by launching, super jump forward, air, medium, medium, heavy, heavy Shadowblade, finishing shower. And depending on which one you go with, you'll either get a little under 600,000 points of damage or a little over 600,000 points of damage. Damage isn't really all that much better if you go into the third rep, so I would stick with the 2-rep version. And the Shadowblade Loop isn't really going to be the best combo in terms of damage. It's not really the one that you're going to want to do if you're really trying to go for the kill.
But if I'm messing up on a particular combo, especially online, I'll sort of transition into this combo just because it does such a good job at leveling out the opponent. But also, Shadowblade is a really good attack to just throw around, and it helps a lot if you know how to convert off of it, especially if you have a team built for extending combos where high damage scaling won't make a difference.
And that's going to be it for this combo breakdown video, and as always, tune in next time for when I break down another one, but until then, I will catch you guys next time. Peace.